Look at this little one. He's squirming, turning his head away, getting just a little bit fussy. What's your first thought? He's probably getting tired, right? Time for a nap. That's what almost all of us think. But what if I told you those aren't tired cues at all? That he's trying to tell us something completely different, and that misreading this one simple signal can lead to hours of the unnecessary crying we all dread. I'm Sarah, and I'm not a doctor. I'm a mom on a mission to read all the parenting studies so you don't have to. And today, we are going to decode what our babies are really trying to tell us. So, how do we start decoding? The truth is, if you're just watching for cues, you're only getting half the story, and that's why it can feel so confusing. A baby turning their head away could mean I'm sleepy, or it could mean I'm full. A little squirm could be a sign of hunger, or it could mean that toy is just too much for me right now. The cue itself is often a mystery. This is where a simple, almost secret framework changes everything. It's the single most important principle I learned, and it brings so much calm to the chaos. The formula is this: the cue you see plus the context around it equals true clarity. Let's apply it to that baby from the beginning. The one turning his head, looking fussy, the one we all thought was tired. The cue was his fussiness and turning away. But let's be detectives and look at the context. First, he'd only been awake for 20 minutes. For a baby his age, that's a very short time. Second, that was right after a solid 2-hour nap. His sleep tank was full. And third, he had just finished a full feed not 10 minutes earlier. So when you add the cue to that context, is it likely he's tired again? No. Is he hungry? Definitely not. The context rules those possibilities out. He wasn't showing tired cues. He was showing us something very specific called disengagement cues. He was saying, I love you, but this is all a bit much for my system right now. I just need a quiet moment. And once you see that, you're not just guessing anymore. You know exactly what to do. So let's break that down. What exactly are disengagement cues? And how, for the love of sleep, do you tell them apart from the tired cues that can look so incredibly similar? This is where so many of us get tripped up, and it's not our fault. No one hands you a manual for this. Disengagement cues are your baby's polite and sometimes not so polite way of saying, I need a break. It's not about being tired yet, it's about being full. To explain this, I want you to think of your baby's nervous system like a small cup. Everything they experience, the light, the sounds, your touch, your voice, their sister singing, it's all water pouring into that cup. As a caring parent, you're filling that cup with wonderful, enriching experiences. But a baby's cup is tiny. It fills up fast. Disengagement cues are the sign that the water is right at the brim. They're telling you, please stop pouring for a second. These cues happen in stages. The early, subtle ones are just a simple turn of the head. Or they might break eye contact and just stare away into space. It's quiet, it's calm, but it's a signal. If we miss that, or if the stimulation continues, the cues get louder. They might start to squirm, get a bit fussy, or put their hand up in a little stop signal. Finally, if the cup really starts to overflow, you get the big ones, arching their back as if trying to physically push away from the stimulation. And then, crying. It's a frustrated, overwhelmed cry, not a tired cry. And here's the common mistake I see so many well-meaning parents make. You see your baby turn their head away, and your first instinct is to try and win back their attention. You jiggle the toy a little more, you make a funny face, you say, hey, look over here. But all you're doing is pouring more water into a full cup. You're taking them from the brim to a full-on overflow, and that's when a peaceful moment can turn into a meltdown. Now let's contrast that with tired cues. This is different. This isn't about being full of stimulation. This is about the battery running low. And just like disengagement, these cues have a clear progression. Learning to spot the early signs is the ultimate parenting superpower. First, you have the early tired cues. These are golden. They're also the easiest to miss. It's a quiet stillness. You'll notice their movements slow right down. They get that classic 1,000-yard stare, where their eyes look a bit glassy and unfocused. Their blinks get longer, slower, almost like they're blinking in slow motion. When you see these signs, combined with the context that they've been awake for an appropriate amount of time, that's your signal. Not to play, not to feed, but to begin the wind down for a nap. Now, if you miss that window, you enter the late tired cues. The body starts to get a little desperate. You'll see yawning, they might start rubbing their eyes or ears. Their movements, which were once smooth, might become jerky. They'll start to fuss, that low-grade, whiny grizzle that says, "I'm struggling here." And if that stage is missed, you hit the very late cues. This is when the body is screaming for sleep. They are often inconsolable. They'll be crying, flailing, and arching their back. And I know what you're thinking. That sounds just like the late disengagement cues. You're right. The final, desperate signals for both states look almost identical. That is why context is everything. That is why catching the early cues is the only way to be sure. Let's put it all together in a little day-in-the-life scenario. Imagine it's 9 a.m. Your 3-month-old has been awake since 7:30. That's an hour and a half of awake time, right in the window for a nap. You've been playing gently on the mat. You notice he breaks eye contact and stares at the ceiling. His little kicks, which were energetic a minute ago, have stopped. He's just still. That's it. That's your golden cue. You don't wait for a yawn. You check the clock. Yep, 90 minutes. You see the stillness? That's cues plus context. You calmly say, "Okay, little guy, time for a sleep," and you scoop him up and begin your nap routine. The result? He's likely to go down peacefully. Now, the alternate reality. You see the stillness, but you think, "Oh, he's just bored." So you introduce a new, flashy, noisy toy. He immediately turns his head away. That's your disengagement cue. You miss it. You shake the toy again. He starts to squirm. His nervous system cup is overflowing. Then the fussing starts, and pretty soon, he's crying. Now he's overstimulated and overtired, and getting him to sleep has just become 10 times harder. It's this very subtle difference that can change the entire flow of your day. It's the difference between feeling confident and feeling constantly confused. Now that you know the difference, I'm genuinely curious. Which of these two have you found the most challenging to decode in your own life? The subtle tired cues or the easily confused disengagement cues? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to see which one is most common for all of us. It's so validating to see in the comments that we all struggle with telling those two apart, isn't it? And mastering the difference between "I need space" and "I need sleep" is a huge win. It really is the key to a calmer, more connected day. But now I need you to lean in for a second, because while misreading those signals might lead to an hour of fussiness, which is incredibly tough, I know, there's another category of cues where the stakes are fundamentally higher. Think about it this way. Getting a tired cue wrong can derail a nap. We've all been there, and we survive. But consistently missing this next set of cues, that can actively sabotage feeding. It can impact nutrition, their weight gain, and create a cycle of intense stress for both you and your baby that feels so much harder to break. This is why I believe that if there is one signal you can't afford to miss, it's this one. I'm talking about hunger cues. Understanding them isn't just helpful, it's the foundation for a peaceful and successful feeding journey, especially in those early months. So let's get into exactly what they look like, because I promise you, the real first sign of hunger doesn't make a sound. That's right, the real first sign of hunger doesn't make a sound. It's a whisper, not a scream. And learning to hear that whisper is probably the single most impactful skill you can develop for a peaceful feeding journey. So let's create a timeline, a map of what hunger looks like from start to finish. Think of it as having two key zones, the golden window and the red zone. First, the golden window. These are your early cues. This is the ideal time to feed your baby. They're just starting to stir from a nap, stretching their little arms and legs. They might open and close their mouth or start turning their head from side to side. This is called the rooting reflex. They're actively searching for the source of food. And the most classic early cue? Sucking on their hands, fingers, or even their little fists. When you see this, your baby is calm, alert, and saying, "Hey, I'm getting hungry. I'll be ready for a meal soon." This is your moment. Feeding in this state is peaceful. They latch easily, they eat efficiently, and the whole experience is connective and calm. But if we miss that golden window, we start to enter the transition phase. The cues get a little louder. They'll start to move their arms and legs in a more agitated way. They might start fussing with little grunts or whines. Their body gets tense. This is your baby escalating their communication, saying, "Okay, I'm getting really hungry now. Please pay attention." And if we miss those cues, we enter the red zone. This is the late cue. And it's the one we all know, crying. But it's not just any cry. It's often a frantic, high-pitched, desperate cry. Their face might get red, their body becomes rigid and tense. This is not a communication tool anymore. This is a sign of distress. Their nervous system is in overdrive. And this is the moment where so many parents feel that surge of panic and think, "I have to get food into them right now." But here's the crucial piece of information, the thing I so wish I had known. Trying to feed a baby in the red zone is physically, mechanically difficult. And there are 3 specific reasons why. First, their tongue. When a baby is crying hysterically, their tongue is pressed high and tight against the roof of their mouth. It's a defensive, protective position. To get a deep, effective latch for either breast or bottle feeding, their tongue needs to be down and forward. So when you try to force a latch while they're screaming, you're working against their own physiology. Their mouth is open to cry, not to eat. Second, their sucking becomes disorganized. The rhythmic, coordinated suck, swallow, breathe pattern they need for a successful feed completely falls apart. It becomes a frantic, choppy, inefficient suck. It's like trying to take a calm drink of water while you're hyperventilating. They might gag, choke, or swallow a ton of air, which just leads to more discomfort and gas later. And third, exhaustion. Crying burns a shocking amount of calories. A baby in the red zone is using up precious energy. So even if you manage to get them to latch, they are often too exhausted to take a full, proper feed. They'll suck for just a few minutes, get just enough milk to take the edge off their hunger, and then pass out from sheer exhaustion. This creates the dreaded snack and snooze cycle, where they wake up hungry again in 45 minutes and the whole stressful battle begins anew. Seeing that cycle laid out, it makes so much sense, right? It's not about you being a bad parent or your baby being difficult. It's just physics and biology. So what do we do? Because we're human, life happens. You'll be in the shower or on a call and you'll miss the golden window. It's inevitable. So you need an emergency protocol. When your baby is in the red zone, your first job is not to feed them. Your first job is to calm them. Calm first, feed second. Write that down. Here's your 3-step protocol. Step 1, calm their nervous system. Get them skin to skin against your chest. Let them hear your heartbeat. Hold them firmly, swaddle them tightly, or use a gentle rhythmic swaying motion while making a loud shh sound. Your goal is to get the frantic crying to stop and for their little rigid body to soften in your arms. Step 2, organize their sucking reflex. Once the screaming has subsided, offer them your clean pinky finger, nail side down, to suck on. You can also use a pacifier. Let them just suck for a minute. You will feel their suck go from that frantic, choppy pattern to something more rhythmic and smooth. You are helping their brain and body get back into feeding mode. Step 3. Now and only now do you attempt the feed. Bring them to the breast or bottle. You have successfully reset the stage. You've brought them out of the red zone and guided them back towards a state where they can eat effectively. This little protocol can be the difference between an hour of screaming and a 10-minute peaceful feed. It is a game changer. Understanding this timeline, from the quiet whispers of the golden window to the mechanics of the red zone, is about preventing fires instead of constantly putting them out. It's about working with your baby's body, not against it. But communication isn't just about distress and needs. sometimes your baby is trying to tell you something truly wonderful. And this right here is the part that makes all of that hard detective work feel like the most worthwhile job in the world. It's the ultimate paycheck. Before the giggles, before the coos, before even the first real smile, your newborn has a way of telling you, "I'm here and I want to be with you." We call these engagement or play with me cues. They're incredibly subtle. It might just be a moment of quiet stillness after a feed. You'll see their body relax and their eyes will become wide, bright, and impossibly deep, locking right onto your face. There's no fidgeting, no turning away. In that moment, their entire world is you. This is the very first seed of connection. As their little nervous system matures, that quiet, focused gaze begins to blossom. It turns into a soft curl of the lips, then a full, gummy smile that lights up their whole face. Soon, you'll hear it. A little ah or ooh sound when you talk to them. They're talking back. That's the beginning of your first real conversation. These aren't cues about a problem to be solved. These are invitations. They are your baby's way of saying, "I feel safe, I feel connected, and I love just being with you." This is the magic. It's the beautiful, joyful reward for learning their language and meeting their needs. It's them seeing you and letting you know you've been seen. And that feeling, that deep sense of connection, is what this is all about. It proves that becoming your baby's expert isn't about some unknowable magic. It's about remembering one simple formula. It is always the cues plus the context. Once you have that context, you can finally translate what they're truly trying to tell you. Whether that's, "I need a break," with those subtle disengagement cues, "I'm getting sleepy," with those early tired signs, "My tummy is getting empty," with those quiet hunger cues, or my personal favorite, "Let's play." Now, to make this even easier for you, I've put together a completely free developmental milestone chart. It's a simple guide to help you keep track of what's typical at every stage, so you always have that crucial context on hand. The link is right at the top of the description for you to download. My mission here is to do all the reading so you don't have to. If this video helped you feel a little more confident today, the absolute best way you can support this work is to subscribe to the channel and ring that little bell. We post new evidence-based guides every single week, and I would love for you to be part of our community. Plus, honestly, this information is so critical. Subscribing is the surest way to make sure you can always find this video again when you need a quick refresher. You never know when platforms decide to change things. Thank you so much for being here. You've got this.